hang on a second. We're getting some feline help here tonight. Kom eens naar. So, she's also here. Meet Nala. Hey. She's been living with us for a little while. And she's apparently enjoying it. Her and her buddy families are taking care of the mice and other things that you don't want to have too many of around the house when you live on the countryside. But sometimes they come in and then they want some love, of course. How are you all doing? Welcome back to this nice little chat. This night I came prepared. I took myself... poured myself a glass of red wine. Thought it was nice to sit here with you guys on a Friday evening. Some of you maybe checked in with me earlier today, so that I was chopping wood. Yeah, I learned that today. New skills, valuable. If you live where we live, and actually, I thought it was really fun to do. So, but of course. The thing of this week was the release of the Dutch song that I recorded, the Beelden Blijven, that I recorded for War Child and this documentary that's going to be aired on the Dutch TV for 3 times 3 hours, starting I think the 17th of May. So that was a huge honor, and I cannot start telling you how amazing I thought it was to see all the reactions and I think now it was 25 languages the lyric got translated in. It's fantastic to see everybody worldwide so engaged and so touched by the song. War unfortunately is a worldwide phenomena, but it's music that does wordless talking sometimes, and even though it's cool to see it in your own language, I think one of the first reactions that I saw were that a lot of people felt it before they actually knew what it really meant. And to know the words, of course, it amplifies the actual meaning, but it was wonderful to see the initial reactions, like, it came in so strong. Well, that was the intention, of course. All right, well, we're online. 1,232 people are joining. Really wonderful. Welcome all. A lot of countries once again. Brazil is present. Hello, Brazil. I'll be trying to keep up with the amount of questions that are pouring in. I say sometimes a little bit difficult language. My English is good, my Swedish is good, my Dutch is good, but Spanish not so much. Someone would love a concert in Poland. Yeah, me too. Greetings from Portugal. Hello, Texas. Someone writing FPATST, and it relates so much to the song. Truly amazing. Thank you for writing that. I'm just very grateful I've been able to sing on this song. It's War Child doing all the helping and trying to help, in this case, more children to cope with the effects of war and make sure that, or try at least, try to make it so that it's not a sentence for life mentally, which is quite a challenge that I can only imagine. Let's see, I think now I paused. Hello from Indonesia. There is Hollywood, Hong Kong. Hello, everybody. Wow, what a nice international evening we're having here. Hello from Sweden, from this Dutchie. Chopping wood, riding my horse, writing music, writing and writing, two different things. Oh, ich liebe deine Stimme. That's, I think, pretty German. Thank you. Somebody likes my voice. Hello from Chile. Well, some of you might wonder what I've been doing in the last weeks. Well, now you know a little bit more since there is a song released now in Dutch. The organization War Child is a Dutch organization from the beginning, but it became a very international one that's everywhere in the world, a lot of places, helping people. Because of my international career, the idea soon came to also translate the song into English. It's not a copy paste from the Dutch language, so it became an English version of with the same intention that I have already recorded, and I don't personally know when the release will be of this, but of course I will keep you updated about all of this. Yeah, some more hellos from Brazil. What else was I gonna tell you? I had something in my mind, then I got distracted a little bit. We went Nightwish in Morocco. Yeah, well, that would be fun. Absolutely. How many of you guys were familiar with War Child to start with? That's a question. Ja, norska nationaldagen på söndag. Yeah, National Day in Norway coming up. I actually was in one of the Norwegian national days many years ago while I was writing Northward with Jørn Viggo Lofstad. It was quite the party. Yeah, really nice. Hello, Rio de Janeiro. Mexico, Romania. I would love to come. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I don't really travel much nowadays. I go to the supermarket and that's about it. Yeah, hello from Greece. Yeah. Yeah, how I spent my week. That was what I was going to tell you. I actually have been, recording the songs for War Child, been in touch with them, and even seeing if we cannot come up with a bit of a more long-term cooperation with each other, so that I would be like an ambassador for them. That would be something really special, I think. I'm writing music very slowly, but I'm still on it, and I really enjoy sitting behind my piano whenever I have a moment to spare. You would say you have a lot of that, but I have a 3-year-old, so most of my time, of course, goes to this lady, and then I have 2 4-legged ladies, and I don't mean the cat, but I mean my horses. So the ladies there take up a lot of time. I'm training Auri. She's 3 years old now, and it's really enjoyable to put a saddle on her back and see what she does. And yesterday I actually hang on her back on the saddle. And so tomorrow or on Sunday I'm going to be sitting up on her for the first time on her back. So that's exciting. I hope the next chat is not with me in a cast of some sort that I broke something, but she's a really good girl. But young horses, you never know. And Lily, my big horse, she's super stable and just happy that I guess she's getting a little bit more attention as well. And it's a lot of riding around in the woods and a little bit of extra candy here and there. And we have these wonderful flowers that grow here. In Dutch we call them horse flowers, and they must have gotten that name because the horses love them. So yeah, and then there's the gardening a lot, taking lots of weed, at least what we humans determined as weed, which is kind of funny because if it's somewhere else we call it grass, but if it grows where you want to have something else, it's weed all of a sudden. So I'm weeding. We've had some frost, so I hope my potatoes are surviving, and my carrots and my cabbage. So I have problems too, okay? I'm also trying to get some getting some seeds up, like beans. I just have the beans in the ground, and they're just coming out. So they don't mind the frost, obviously. It's really funny. Yeah, and I can't believe that it's already Friday again. It's kind of hard to keep track of days. I don't know if you guys have the same, that it kind of feels like it's Monday or Sunday. It's blending, and yeah, it's a bit weird. So it's Friday for me. That's a legit reason to drink a little bit of red wine, and of course the celebration for the successful release of the War Child song, the Beelden Blijven. So cheers to your good health too. All right, the weekend has started. She said as if I drank this the first time. I maybe had a beer with dinner, because we grilled some food outside because it's sunny. It's not a particularly warm, but it's sunny, and that the rest is just more clothes. All right, here comes a nice poem. Thanks for the poem. yeah, is there anybody else into gardening here maybe on this blog or chat, I mean? Somebody says cheers, thank you. What did we grill? We had some veggie sausages, we had some real sausages, and we had some corn. Yes, that was good. Yeah, somebody's growing basil. Yeah, me too. And it's not going well. It's too cold. Who cooks food in our house? It's actually mostly Hannes. Yeah, I can cook, but he can really cook. He enjoys it. I just make food because I need to eat. Strawberry plants. Yeah, I would love to actually have strawberries. They should work here too, actually. I see a lot of people asking me when I come back to a certain country, and really seriously at this point, I don't know, because we have plans, but I don't dare to, say anything about it, because the plans we have constantly keep changing because the virus is keeping still quite a hold of us. There are more people with basil plants. Yeah, when they grow, but get them up from seed I thought was a little tricky. Here's somebody who managed to kill a cactus. That's good. They need water, the plants. That's a tip. That's far I get. That's how far I got. Oh, here's somebody else gardening with kids, growing tomatoes. Me too. Cucumbers, not that, and other stuff. Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to tell Freja what I'm doing, but I think she's a little bit too young to really, really get it. Some places in the US have made having a food garden illegal. Okay, way to go, USA. That's too bad. Groetjes vanuit Eindhoven. Dank je. Groetjes terug. That was Dutch. How do I stay in touch with the Nightwish members today? Well, like this. Through the interwebs. Yeah, that's it. We... mostly just it's email or some messages. Yeah, I guess everybody is drifting off on their own little island until this is all over, and we know what we want. We have it all lined out and ready to go. We just need to go. All right. And some greetings from different countries. When I go to certain countries, do I have favorite foods from each? Not really, actually. No, I kind of always learn new things, and I love Indian food. So it's very often that I try to find a good Indian restaurant wherever I am. Also because, mainly because they actually have a vegetarian menu with choices, and not just, oh, you're a vegetarian, then you can eat this. This is our option, as if it's an option. All right. Oh, somebody's wishing me and my family to stay healthy. I would love to see me perform when all of this goes away. Thank you for that. Yeah, we are healthy, actually. All of us are. Also, my family in the Netherlands are. And what I feel and see and read is that at least both here in Sweden as in the Netherlands, the amount of people getting sick is going down. So that's a positive thing, but it's not exactly woohoo. Still read how many people die every day, and that's just horrible. I can't wait for those messages to stop coming, and for people just don't have to fear for their lives anymore worldwide. Here's somebody who wonders if I'm vegetarian still. I hope you eat meat sometime to keep healthy. I think it's proven that you can be very healthy living vegetarian. However, I do eat meat every now and then if it comes straight from the Swedish woods. And I do that because I became a vegetarian because I don't like meat industry. And I don't think it's done in a healthy way, and I think a lot of people eat an unhealthy amount of meat. But the animals in these woods here are being shot only when there are too many of them. They look at a biotope, so an area where they live, and calculate how many of them there are, and it needs to be in balance with each other to make sure that all the species thrive. And of course there is the part where humans come in, where we say we want to use the forest for things, we want to make a field, and we're going to have food for humans on it. All of that is taken into calculation, and if there's too many of one species, it gets shot, and it's really important it dies as soon as possible. I don't like the death part, I don't like the killing the animal part, but nature's cruel, animals die. These animals die quickly and painless, and then they provide with beautiful food that I enjoy eating. Yeah. Here's somebody who asked me if I know anything about vertical gardening. Really clever, and you can also use it in the winter. Vertical gardening, I will be Googling that. Sounds very interesting. I think I know what it is, but I don't pretend to really know. But it sounds definitely interesting. Somebody's asking what I'm reading. I'm actually not reading at all. I usually don't sit down until it's like 9:30, 10 in the evening. And when I do, the only thing I want to do is watch something. We just watched Win the Wilderness, which I thought was really entertaining to see. And then it's to bed. And then the day starts, and it's just over. I don't really sit down and read. Maybe when it gets really warm and I just want to really chill out. But so far I've just been, doing a lot more physical stuff, and I enjoy that very much. Let's see where I am, because you guys are just, it's 1,366 people joining here. That's really fantastic. Welcome everybody. So here's my finger scrolling through all your messages. Somebody's wondering how Alma is doing. Alma was our dog who lived with us for over a year, and who now moved to a wonderful family in the south of Sweden, where she lives with a very experienced hunter who will teach her to be a hunting dog, who has experience with this breed. It's a very demanding breed, and that felt really good to give her a chance of a better life with a family who knows better to take care of her specific needs. At the same time, life of the cats here at home became a bit easier as well, and with that actually mine too, because I stressed quite a bit over it, because Alma did not like her cats. And so we also got this new cat, Nala, who now lives with us, and that's a girl. We had a boy, so I would really enjoy it if they at some point would make a few baby cats. That's kind of, the effect of the virus and me being at home, that I would love to take care of that while I can. So let's see if I can update you at some point that Nala is pregnant and cat update. Yeah, that's just something I would enjoy. Nala, like the Lion King, I guess so. We took Nala from another family as well. A replacement cat. She's already 7 to 8 months now. Already, she wasn't a kitten anyway, and I didn't want to have another kitten because the cat we have left is also a bit older, as in not a kitten anymore. And I want them to get along, and they actually really do, which you never know with cats. I'm completely new in the world of cats because I've always been a dog girl, and I never wanted cats to start with, and now I'm the one that convinced Hannes that we should. And they're getting along really well, so that's good. That's also good if you'd like to have baby cats at some point. Here's somebody asking if I don't miss the Netherlands in these times. Well, that's a really good question. And yes, I do. There's a lot happening in the Netherlands. Also, of course, it's a horrible feeling to not be able to go there when you want to. And yeah, so far nothing really that drastic happened that I would want to jump in a plane now. I guess I would, but I could if I wanted to. But keeping the quarantine like this is the healthiest way to deal with it, of course. And fortunately, everybody's doing well, or relatively well. So. And my sister actually had surgery on her foot done, something that was long overdue. She started to have pain last July. And after a wrong diagnosis, she got the right one, which meant that you have an extra foot in your bone and that broke. But we can't perform any surgery on you for at least another 3 months. So here's some morphine and a cast. With that, she walked around until she would have her surgery. Then came the virus, and she didn't have her surgery. So she's very relieved to now be had the surgery to remove the bone, and from now she can start healing. And those are moments that I would love to be able to just drive to her house and give her a hug, and it totally beep that I can't. Let's see. Somebody's writing that they hope that the concert will happen in November in the Netherlands. Of course, the whole European tour, we're really, really hoping. It's depending on so many factors that all we can do at this moment is hoping, but we hope along. Would I ever play live guitar with Nightwish? You don't want to hear me play live guitar with Nightwish. I mean, I can do open chords like every hippie with a guitar. Pretty okay-ish, but that's as far as I come. The rest is just serious posing. I once jumped on stage with Sabaton, pretending to play, but it was all staged. It was, of course, Chris playing the real stuff, and I was just pretending. But I know that a lot of people thought that I was playing, and that was so much fun. I fooled quite a few people. Cheers to that. But I'm not any good. Yes, I'm drinking wine. Little one. I'm 1.83 meters. Not little. Let's see. Hello from Indonesia. Hello. And hi from Sweden. Nice. Sweden joined. Hej på dig. Välkommen. Do I drink drier wines or more sweeter or juicier? I really like the dry ones. I'm not much of a sweet. I don't have a sweet tooth of any form. So even my whiskeys, I like them pretty extreme. No vanilla tastes or any sweet drinks for me. It's usually the drier stuff. Like a good Rioja, for instance. That's I think what I'm having. No, it's a Côte du Rhône. It's actually French. Oui. Am I planning to write duets with somebody? No, but I would like to write songs with somebody. I have some ideas. Somebody's asking, how's the heart? My heart's okay. It is, but it's weird times. I really love being at home, which is a bit weird maybe to say to everybody. But the reason I'm home is not good. And it's always there, in the back of your mind saying you're home because. But if you're a mom of a young child, and if you are in a situation as I am with a young family that usually isn't together, I'm really enjoying these months together with my husband and my child. Every day we're having a routine we never had before, which I always thought was super boring. But maybe it's the age or something, but I kind of enjoy the routine of the daily life. It's just rolling on. As I said before, I have no idea what day it is, and it doesn't matter. And I noticed that, of course, a lot of things happened to me last year when I joined Beste Zangers, and this whole thing on television happened in the Netherlands. It created a sidetrack career for me that I didn't expect. And I'm still super excited about it, but it also really built up quite a fatigue in me. That would have been pretty tricky to deal with, jumping on a world tour with Nightwish. So I was really like, I'm going to have to really, really, really take it easy, balance things out, say no at the right moments. And then just my entire schedule just cleared, and I couldn't help but feel a slight relief because I personally felt like, whew, now I can breathe, And now that I have been breathing, all these ideas start to come up, and I start to really, really want to do this and that and that, and that's a healthy sign. Also a little bit of a dangerous sign, because now it's very easy to take up upon myself quite a bit of work that I still need to do when life goes back to normal. And of course, the first and foremost thing is the world tour with Nightwish. Having said all of this, missing the tours and not being with the guys, and haven't been in China yet, and not in Mexico and Latin America yet, not in Russia, feels really, really wrong. So God, I wish that things could go back to normal. But while it's not, I enjoy as much as I can, because that's all you can. And I would really, really, I've said that in the previous chat we had as well, recommend everybody to do it. If you can change it, stop thinking about it, how it would have been, and take it as it comes as much as you can. If you have your health, then that's the most important thing to have right now. We are under a sort of attack, and you can make it as dramatic as you want, but survival now is the most important. It's not a luxury problem that we have. It's a real problem, and the rest are luxury problems that are solved by positive use, I would say. And I don't want to sound too naive. There are people with real problems. I know that. But as much positivity as you can summon is totally welcome for your well-being. And for me, at least, that's working. And it actually makes time goes by remarkably fast. All right, that was a very long monologue. I probably missed a lot of your messages. 1,500 people joining. Wow, guys, welcome for the new ones. Somebody's asking, when you're alive, who's taking care of the daughter? The Sandman at the moment. It's past her bedtime, and she's been playing quite a bit today. We even have some neighbors with kids of similar age, and she's just been jumping up and down until it was passing out. So she's well asleep. Hearts and... Yeah, okay, this is Nightwish memes. Nice with the strawberries. Which concert in the upcoming tour will be recorded? I don't know, Anna. But one would be cool. Did you actually have COVID earlier? I actually think I might have, yeah. And nothing at all serious as it could be. But I was sick for 2-3 weeks, and I never really am. And many people that I know had similar problems. But here in Sweden, they don't check until you're really sick. So, I kind of hope that I did. And I would like to know if I did. I would feel a whole lot safer if it's true that you can't get it again. Which is not so sure either. So, There's somebody who wants to know about a very unusual health question. I don't really know about that. There's somebody saying, in Dutch, you don't stop living, but you live the life as you have it now. And that's exactly true. Which languages would I also want to learn? I still would really like to learn Finnish. I mean, I came a bit. And it's so difficult that I came to a point where I can understand people kind of depending on where they're from or how fast they speak. And I can read it if it's not too many endless connection of words. But that was about it. And every time I would want to say something, I had to think so long. It doesn't really resolve into a very spontaneous conversation. And that part, I recognize now that I've learned language, which was Swedish, that you have to overcome that part, and I never did with Finnish. But I always enjoyed studying on tour. So I could really imagine doing that again. And then maybe not tell the guys, and then just once upon a time, when they don't expect to just come with a fluent line of Finnish. That would be so much fun. But knowing myself, I probably can't keep that away from them anyway. I want to tell them everything all the time. Drive them mental. Ooh, Yeah, somebody's writing you were traveling a lot for promo. Maybe it was COVID. Yeah, but by the time I was home, I was already home for over 2 weeks, and then it came. I actually think I went shopping, like to the grocery store, buying a sort of survival kit on stuff. If things would go completely wrong, then we would at least have dried beans and stuff like that. I really went for that. And I actually think that's where it got me. Funny enough, you go, Armageddon shopping and you get sick there. Caipirinha or IPA beer? Caipirinha. I am actually not much of an IPA beer fan. Hey Jess, nice to see you here. Welcome. Sing for us. No! I will do that when I'm really live. It's gonna sound horrible here anyway. Raskastan sinua. Kiitos paljon. Somebody's liking me, loving me even in Finnish. That's great. That's how far I got. And puhutko sinä englantia? Do you speak English? That was my most fluent sentence. Mitä kuuluu? Hyvä kiitos. As you can see, it's Friday. Woohoo! Hölökynkölökyn. Yeah, actually, hölökynkölökyn is a way to say cheers in Finnish. You would say, can't you not say it any shorter than that? Yeah, but they always teach you the really long, difficult version. Like I learned to count 1, 2, 3, and then I learned you can just say kako. But same with hölökynkölökyn. But hölökynkölökyn, I didn't know before I met Tuomas's mother, who has been a Finnish teacher and is brilliant with languages. And so she really specifically and perfectly taught me how to pronounce it. So I hope I do justice to her lessons in this matter. I will never forget. Northward, what happened? Nothing happened. We made an album and we released it. And that was what we had in mind for Northward. It was a one-off project, cool to write a rock album, and it was never going to be anything more than that. So I'm super happy that we made it, and it's still there, easy to find. So that's what happened to Northward. Not too much toilet paper. When I did the panic shopping, there was no toilet paper here in Sweden. I read somebody is writing here that the shortage was insane over here in America. There was never any shortage here, but it did sell out very fast, which I thought was really funny because you can still wash your ass, right? I would go for food instead of toilet paper. Well, of course, I'm not the only one who thinks that way, but it was so funny that it became an issue. It became an international problem for a while. And that's just, modern human survival skills. Wow. No, we don't have any, do we? Going for toilet paper. Wow. What was my greatest challenge with the new album? Actually, some of the vocal lines in music, for instance, the verses in Shoemaker were so insanely fast and so irregular and such a real gym for my vocals that those were really tough to get into the system. And the overall input level, the amount of different songs, different jumps, the overall input was just made it very challenging. I love the way that I was challenged though with all the different kinds of vocals, and nothing that I haven't done before, but in the way this was mixed all together was of course unique, and I overall felt properly challenged for this album. Do you like the new album? Is there anybody who would like to comment on it? New song for World Has a Beautiful Moving. Thank you for making it. Thank you for listening to it. And I hope you will also enjoy the English version when it comes. Here's somebody wondering if I listen to opera. Actually, I don't. No, I usually find it too much of the same. Too much drama, and haven't ever heard an opera I can listen to from the beginning to the end. Somebody's wondering, do you speak English or Netherlands? I guess you mean Dutch. I speak both, but at home I speak Swedish. I tried to speak Dutch with my child, however, because I want to teach her 2 languages, and I want her to be able to have a conversation with her nieces in the Netherlands and grandparents, and of course everything. Some more questions. Flour is in short supply, says Duncan. Where is that? Is that in the States, though? Bring Hannes and Freja to Brazil. Yeah, that's a good idea. Then I want to go to see the Amazons with them. That would be really wonderful. Ecuador and Turkey, really nice. Your English has a kind of Suomi accent sometimes. I honestly don't know what kind of accent I have, but I kind of color to the language I've been speaking or hearing most lately. And yeah. Would I write a song in Spanish? I don't even know anything in Spanish more than the song I sang, and even that was really a challenge. So no, I would not. Hello from Argentina. Somebody's wondering if we have Washandjes in Sweden. I don't know if they make them here, but I definitely took them with me from the Netherlands. I thought it was something that everybody knows, but apparently not. Washandje is something really Dutch. There's a cool video about it I found recently, really funny. You could Google it, Washandje. Yeah. Here's somebody, could you perhaps give a tour of your studio and computer gear? Yeah, but that would be really disappointing. I'm kind of building up things. I now have a wonderful microphone, and I'm borrowing a really good preamp, but that I might buy. But I have an old computer and a very old software that I seem to have the ambition to write a bit more and maybe record a bit more, would be good to update. And since I am a complete idiot on that level, I will need some advices from people who know about these things. I can sing, but all the technical stuff is something I really need help with. And yeah, fortunately I know people that do know that and are willing to help. Have I checked the entries of Eurovision this year? No, sorry, no, I never do. I never follow it at all. But I thought it was cancelled. So, but there you go, me and my little island. I don't follow much of that kind of stuff. Am I a hypochondriac? No, I'm actually really not. I could sometimes be a little bit more careful, especially in these days. Somebody's wondering why I live in Sweden. I'm actually married to a Swede. That's why. Here's somebody describing, I went to the grocery store today. There was a sign on the liquor section, only 5 bottles per person. I guess after toilet paper and flour, the next thing people are buying crazy is alcohol. Now, that part I get. What does Freja think about Nightwish music? She really likes it, but she's so young that she likes everything that's just danceable. And I guess that, you know, when you grow up with a mom that sings, that is what your mom does, and that's her normal. So when I start to sing, her reaction now is, "No, Mom." Thanks. Wait. No, I pressed something. Somebody wonders if I did practice any outdoor sports. Yeah, I actually went jogging once with the ambition to do it more. Now here comes my ultimate excuse. A week after that, Auri, one of my horses, jumped on my feet, which was my own stupid mistake because I went with my horse running and put on my running shoes instead of my boots, which has this iron cover on the feet. I thought it's more practical to run on running shoes, which it really is, but not when she goes and stand on it. And that kind of hurt me quite a bit. The other excuse is that I ride them and walk with them and run with them so much, plus all the other stuff that I do, that my daily routines are a quite complete workout. And since now I became a lumberjack, since I learned how to chop wood, I think I have a new hobby. So if I want to train my upper body a little bit more, God, well then I have a new one. And if you live here, the reason why we were chopping wood was because a tree went down in the paddock, as it does when it blows, and well, then you need to take it away. And here's the Dutchie, completely new to all of that. I didn't think it was that much work, but it was so much work. Fun though. It was sunny day, and we just took care of it as you do, and I kind of enjoyed it. Let's see. Somebody from France, so it's my wine. Bonjour. Bonsoir, actually. Congratulations to the Nightwish album. Thank you. And if it's possible, we will travel to Finland. I will do the same. Yeah, wonderful if you can come to Finland next year. Somebody likes my shirt. Thanks. It's actually new. It's actually not new. It's secondhand, but I love secondhand because this world is full of new stuff that is just overproduced, and I like to reuse and use things as long as possible in order to keep our planet healthy. So I'm super satisfied with this not new sweater. That's now mine. Hello from Mexico. Hello. Do I like Freddy Mercury? Yes, I really do. Some people said that I am like the female Freddy Mercury. Well, if that's said, I consider that a massive, massive compliment. I really do. Do I like Spanish horses? Yes. God, yes. They are majestic. Somebody's asking if my show in Carre met Henk Poort is still happening. No, that's not happening, but we're looking into what we can do, and there are ideas about it, but I don't have all the details. But we cannot gather as is planned on the 16th of June yet. But details I unfortunately don't have. As with so many of the things right now, it's very frustrating. I wish I could just answer to these kind of questions. Press the wrong button again. Oh, I can comment on my own stuff? That's cool. Hang on, now I scroll down somehow. Here I am scrolling. 3 a.m. in Japan, but still watching. Thank you. Arigato. That's wonderful. Japan is here too, and greetings from Colombia. Once again, it's 1,500 people. It's really wonderful. So many people from so many countries are joining. Even when it's in the middle of the night or early in the morning. Really wonderful. Thank you all for being part of this. It's really, it starts to become a really nice habit. And I find it very entertaining, and I hope you do too. Peru, Argentina, Greece. Thank you for being positive and awesome and influencing so many people. Thank you. Well, you're really welcome. I hope I can really say something positive, because I genuinely mean it. And once again, I don't want to be naive and ignore the fact that there are real problems, even more problems or bigger problems than the virus's problems. But if you're home and you feel locked in, or you feel imprisoned by the virus and the current situation, I can only recommend you to try and turn the thought around into something more positive, into something more proactive and creative, where you can do stuff. You can do there in this world. It's I think personally, impossible to get bored. That is a state of mind more than anything else. So it's a matter of just picking up something and do it. Learn that language, see that movie, read that book, call that person, whatever. And then the day's just over. Oh, hello from Greenland. That's a place I would like to visit one day. It must be beautiful nature. And hello from Brazil. A little bit of Sweden too. Hey, son. And Paraguay. Somebody called me a goddess. I'm not. I'm pretty down to earth. Sorry, now I'm just going into the reading. Reading and talking at the same time is something I suppose that women are able to do. But that whole multitasking thing is getting harder and harder. It's not because of the wine. As you can see, it's not. I've not been really going crazy. And not before this chat either. In Scandinavia, metal and rock is a really big thing, and we have some incredible bands and artists from the Northern Hemisphere. Yeah. Do you have any other than Nightwish like band that I know or like, maybe a Scandinavian rock group or artist? I mean, there's so many bands and so many fantastic artists, but I think also here music is stimulated really well. There's a fantastic platform for it. Here in Sweden, the education also is amazing. So not only do you get proper education, you also learn. You create a network from a very young age of. I think Netherlands is really good with that as well. It's just a really fine base for a lot of musicians, and that's super cool. That's super important because you see it obviously is working. Mexico, somebody would like us to come to Istanbul. I would love to come to Istanbul or come back there. Multitasking is different as you get older. Is it that? Is it getting that bad? I'm pushing 40 and I don't want to be reminded about it, okay? Have I ever considered recording my little one since she's enjoying singing? I guess I have been recording her on private small videos, and the thing that I love the most, and I hope I can really make a good memory of this, not just recording it, but is that she can go and do her own stuff, and then she's constantly singing a little bit to herself. Or we have this 4-wheeler where we go around with here, which is really practical to have. But it's also fun to just ride around with her. And she sits in front of me, and the harder I drive, the louder she starts to sing. And she doesn't really stick to the lyrics of a kiddie song. It's like compilations of different songs, and she adds her own texts or lyrics to it. So that's something definitely worth recording for later on. But for now, it's going to be one of the brightest memories of this phase of her life. Cheers from Scotland. Nice whiskey. Yeah, well, my favorite whiskey does come from Scotland. The Islay whiskies. I probably pronounced it wrong, but anything from the Islay Islands is I absolutely love it. Floor, do you like Nordic mythology? I do. I really do. We have 2 beautiful books about it, which also led to the inspiration for the name Freja for our daughter, who is straight from the Northern mythology, of course, and also still a name that we can pronounce in different languages, which we thought was practical. How's the coronavirus in your country? Here in Sweden, it's there's still a lot of people dying on a daily basis, even though the restrictions here are pretty loose. It's definitely very much there. And in the Netherlands, I kind of see both countries as my country. Things are getting better. but still many people are dying. However, on Monday, last Monday, schools have been reopened and daycares for children under 12 years old. There are some restrictions there, but daily life starts to come back a little bit. Carefully though, but yeah. Have I ever heard of a band called Avatar? Yeah, of course. I even announced their show, pre-recorded for a festival in the Netherlands. Do I like Chilean wine? Yes, I do. I really do. Somebody from Costa Rica joined, or maybe it was here all the time, but now says hi. And Tilburg in the Netherlands. What's a country you'd love to visit that you haven't yet? Maybe an exotic destination. Not very exotic in mind, even though one big bucket list place for me is a rainforest. It doesn't really need to be in a specific country, but a rainforest, and see the splendor and the ancientness of it. And I would love to go to Iceland. That's something I would really like to do. Also a high bucket list thing for Hannes and me, if we don't already travel that much. Somebody's wondering if I live near Annette. She lives in Helsingborg. No, I don't. Not that nearby. Have I ever attended to a Skunk and Nancy concert? I didn't. No, I never got to see it. Unfortunately, it's too late. Somebody would like to see us in Iran. Yes, that would be fun. Yeah, that would be great. What's my favorite animal? I don't have a favorite animal. I really love many animals. But I have a special place for horses, that's for sure. And wolves. And dogs and cats and rabbits and birds. Okay, that's it. Oh gosh, the time is just running. We have about 7 to 8 minutes left. Somebody is wondering here if the schools here in Sweden run year round. Yeah, they have still been opened. Here in the UK, they say the schools won't go back until September. Wow, that's very, very long. Huge impact on everybody. Yeah. And I heard a band of Him. Yeah, they were kind of hard to miss, I would say, even though they haven't been around. They were huge. Yeah, and very good. Now I'm kind of behind a little bit. Somebody here also has a Nightwish tattoo. Nice. Yeah, time is really, really weird. Sometimes it goes so slow and then boom. If I do my interviews in Swedish, yeah, actually this year for this tour, or well, not the tour, for this album of Nightwish, the Swedish interviews I did were in Swedish for the first time. That I felt comfortable enough to do that, and even still, then I'm so used to doing interviews in English that I sometimes have to jump back or find words that I don't know for sure. But so far so good in doing interviews in Swedish, which is cool. Yeah. All right. Last few minutes. Do I ever plan on moving back to Netherlands, or do you stick in Sweden? I cannot imagine wanting to go back. I can't imagine leaving this place where I live right now, actually. Do I listen to Metallica? No, I don't. I know I'm totally unmetal when I don't, but apart from a couple of songs, it's really not my kind of music. If I had the opportunity to work with one musician, dead or alive, who would it be? Imagine doing a duet with Freddy Mercury. That would have been great. Is there ever going to be a featuring Floor Jansen on a Sabaton song? Guys, I am already on plenty of Sabaton songs. Do your homework. Check it out. Somebody's writing, my kids love the skeleton dance in tribal and practicing every day. Great. That would be so much fun to go and play that live and do that dance. I saw somebody asking if I also have been practicing. I haven't yet, but maybe I should get started too. And here's somebody who's wondering if I hunt for wild mushrooms. Yeah, I do. Even though I have the luxury of don't even have to hunt for it. I go out and I look at the ground, and then there's the forest gold, the chanterelle. So it's just there. It's in abundance. At least last year. So I love mushroom picking. I can't say I enjoy the rinsing afterwards. It's just a lot of work. But then the eating of it, just straight out of the forest. This makes you want to skip summer and just jump straight into the fall for that. Somebody's asking Slayer or Pantera. I'm an absolute Pantera fan. I never got into Slayer. So for me, absolutely Pantera. Somebody's thanking for this question, Q&A. I want to thank you guys. I thought it was super enjoyable once again to sit here with you, with so many of you from so many places in the world. It's very, very enjoyable. I hope you've enjoyed listening to this new song that now came out yesterday called De Beelden Blijven from War Child or For War Child. And I appreciate all the translations that came. So many different languages. Last time I looked, it was 25 different languages. It's amazing. That proves that music is just a worldly thing. And well, once again, thank you for joining here as well. I hope you also still enjoy Human Nature. I mean, it's still super fresh and new. I wish I could say that I know when I'm going to be coming out of my little bubble here in Sweden to come and play music for you live. But until then, we'll be doing these little chats, and I'll be working on some music myself in a ridiculously slow pace, but slowly but surely something might come. It's at least very enjoyable to work on, and I wish you all a really, really great weekend in good health. Keep being careful. It's getting harder and harder. I find it personally to really stick to the rules, because when you do so, everything is well. And when everything is well, you tend to kind of loosen up a little bit. But it's not the time yet for that. Keep that in mind. Keep in mind that there are a lot of things you can still do when you can do life as it usually is. And, well, yeah. I guess those were the things I wanted to say to you before our time is up. I can go back to a few of your messages or maybe even questions, but yeah, really wonderful to see all the international reactions once again. It's really cool to see. And once again, I pushed something. It's remarkable. That's a good thing I could help with all the online stuff, because thanks, Kevin. Without you, I would be completely clueless, I guess. Cheers, guys. Thanks for joining. Once again, if you haven't checked out the song from War Child, go and do so. I think personally it's a beautiful song. I'm really happy I got the chance to sing on it, and thing turned out really, really nice, really beautiful. Great songwriter too, Henk Poort, really fantastic guy. I didn't know him personally, but now we've been talking quite a bit. Really wonderful man with an amazing talent to write music. And well, I hope you enjoyed this chat once again. I'm gonna wish you all a super, super good weekend, and